Hey everyone, and we are back with your last math lesson of the year. Woo! Round of applause. Before we start, I just want to tell you guys how proud I am of you. You have pushed through the unknown, you've figured out how to do distance learning, and you're doing it well. So you should pat yourselves on the back because you are amazing. Now, to get into our last and final math lesson, today we are going to use models to compare fractions with the same numerator. So yesterday, I think, when you see this video, yesterday, you have learned to compare fractions with the same denominator. So this one's going to be a little bit more tricky, but you guys got this, and it's our last math lesson, and I am so proud of you. So let me make myself smaller, and we'll do the solving chair. All right, so let's read this bad boy. Carrie and Alan had the same amount of vegetables to eat. Carrie ate 1/4 of her vegetables, and Alan ate 1/3 of his vegetables. Who ate more vegetables? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have Carrie's name here, and I have Alan's name here, and I'm going to put a model up of fourths and thirds. Alrighty, so they're a little off, but we're just going to go with it. So you can see here it said Carrie had fourths, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And Alan had thirds, so I have 3 equal parts, 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do is I need to grab my little pen. Let's make this big. And for Carrie, we will pick red. It said she ate 1/4 of her vegetables, so we'll just go ahead and color that in. For Alan, we'll pick blue, or actually let's pick yellow. And it said that Alan ate 1/3 of his vegetables. So, who ate more vegetables is the question. All right, so when the last time that we did this, we were using the same denominators. You can see here that the denominators are in fact different. One is thirds and one is fourths. Our numerators are the same though. So this is going to get a little bit confusing. Whichever denominator is a smaller number, the least number, is going to be the biggest. So for this one, Alan is going, oh boy, hold on a second. All right, let's try that again. For this one, Alan is going to have eaten the most of his vegetables. Because if you see here, he only has 2 left, whereas Carrie has 3 left. So he has eaten more. Instead of looking at the model, I find it confusing. If you don't find it confusing, then go ahead and use it. But I find it confusing, so I just usually look at the denominator. Whichever denominator is the smaller number, so for this example, 3 is going to be the bigger fraction. So the smaller denominator is going to be the bigger fraction. So when we do a couple more examples, that will make more sense to you. So Alan ate more vegetables than Carrie. Alrighty, so we're taking a look at example number 3 and number 4, possibly. So once it's just to compare, writing greater than, less than, equal to, and we're using these fraction strips to help us. So again, just like the last one, we have our whole strip. We have 1, 2, 3 sixths and 1, 2, 3 thirds, so a whole. We want to know what sign should we put in the middle of this. So it says 3 sixths is what of 3 thirds? So like I told you before, we can either use the model. So I'll show you that first, then I'll show you how to use the denominator. This model, we can clearly see that the 1/3 or 3 thirds is way bigger, takes up more space than the 3 sixths, and that in fact shows that the smaller denominator is the bigger fraction. So this should read 3 sixths is less than 3 thirds. 6 is greater than 3, but we're looking for the smaller number to be the bigger number. That is so confusing. So you're always wanting your mouth to point, the alligator's mouth to point to the smaller denominator. I hope that makes more sense. And I'm sure once you guys are seeing this, it'll probably make sense to you, but it's just so hard through the computer. All right, so 6 is greater than 3, but like I said, we're placing our mouth towards the smaller denominator. So if we go down to this one, let's move our signs down. If we go to this one, number 4, it wants to know 4/8 is what of 4/6. So we can see that the 4/8 is smaller than the 4/6. So we're going to make sure that our sign points to the smaller denominator. So this is going to read 4/8 is less than 4/6 because we can see that the 4/6 is taking up more of the whole than the 4/8. Hope that makes sense. I'm crossing my fingers for this last video that it makes sense. All right, let's do 2 more examples and then we'll be done. All right, so I'm going to look at number 8 and number 9. Number 8 says 4/8 and 4/8. If the numerators and the denominators are exactly the same, we're going to make sure to put our equal sign. So 4/8 is equal to 4/8. Now looking at number 9, we see here that we have 5/6 and 5/8. I know that my alligator mouth needs to point to the denominator that is the smaller number. So I'm going to point it like this. 5/6 is greater than 5/8. So the 5/6 will take up more of the whole than 5/8. So remember, always point your alligator mouth to the smaller denominator and you'll never be wrong. You guys can do this. It's your last video. I'm so glad it's my last video. I know I'm not a YouTube star, but I hope that I did a good job and I hope that all of these made sense. Again, if you have any questions, let me know and I won't see you in my next math video. So have a great day. Bye.